Hello. In this tutorial, we're going to do a very interesting project. The project we are going to do is to host this very website in a Docker container. We are going to learn how to host a website in Docker container. We are going to create a volume and persist some data to the volume and to see how that is done. So this will be a very engaging tutorial. So if you are new to Docker and hosting a website using Docker and volumes, for example, this will be for you. So first of all, let me show you what the application does. So this application, as you can see, when you enter the name of a city, it shows you the weather forecast of that city. This very functionality has nothing to do with our project, but I think it is an interesting thing to see. Now, the first thing I wanted to show you was the image that we're going to work with. Here I have this image called my Django app. So this is a Django web app. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what kind of the language your web app is written in. So you can use any kind of website for this tutorial. But if you would want to use my image, you can write in the comment field and I can share the image with you so that you can use it in your own learning. Now we are going to pull this image. That's the first thing that we need to do. Now we are going to pull our image from the Docker Hub. Let me paste this image here. As you probably know, the image should be, my image name is my Django app. Then I have the tag latest. Then here I have my username. So that's how you can pull image if you wanted to pull yours from Docker Hub, for example. That's the way it should work. Now let me hit enter. This might take a couple of minutes. So I'm going to stop now. When it completes, I will come back. So finally, it's completed. We have put our image. Now, let us check the image. To do that, you use the command docker images. Now, that's the image that we just worked with now. That's the ID. The next thing we need to do is to create our volume, which we can use to persist data. The command for creating a volume is docker volume create. The name of the volume, we can call it Django volume. Now we can check our volume. Now that's the volume we just created now, which at this moment is empty. We are going to persist some data to that very volume very shortly. Now we are going to pull or create run a container off of our image that we just pulled now. Let me clear this. And I've got the command that we are going to use here. This command, we are going to run this docker run in detach mode. We are going to give it a name called Django version 1. Then the port number for our application is 8000. Then we are also mapping it to 8000 so that we will be able to access this application on the host machine. Now we have our volume called Django volume. If you remember, that's what we call the volume we created. So when we create our Docker container, when we run it, we are going to create a file or a folder inside of it called app. Inside that folder, that's where obviously the application is going to be. So now that we have this, let me hit enter. It did not take any time, and as you can see, our container has been created. That's the ID of the container here. Now we are going to log into this container. To do that, we use docker exec -it, then the name of the container, we called it Django v1, then bash. Now the prompt has changed, which means we are now inside of the container. Let us check. So these are the files and folders that make up the website that we saw earlier before this tutorial, or in the beginning of this tutorial. So these are the files. Now we are going to persist something to the volume that we just created. To persist something to the volume, what we can do, let us write some text. Let's say persisting data to the volume. Now we are going to create a file where we can write this thing. So this is the folder, and then we can write this very text into this very file. So Echo is going to save this very text in the file testing.txt, which is in the folder app. Now let us hit enter. Now let us check the contents of the container. Now you can see we have this new text here. So this new text now that you're looking at is inside of the is also in the volume that we created earlier. So we can now test our application again to make sure that it works. Localhost. Our application still works. Good. Now we are going to stop this application. Let me exit. Now let us stop this application. Django v1. Or rather, let me stop the container, not application. v1. Docker ps. Django v1. Oh, not that. Django ps -a. Now, as you can see, our application has exited. So if we test our application again, if you test our application again, you will see that the application is dead now because we stopped the container. Now we are going to remove this entirely. We are going to remove it. Django v1. Now the container is gone. The next thing we are going to do is to recreate. Let us recreate the container. Let's get the command we used earlier. So now we are going to recreate this container. The only change we are going to make here, instead of version 1, now we are going to create version 2 of this container. Let us call it v2. The command is exactly the same. Remember what we're trying to achieve here, to see if we can persist if the information that we saved in this very volume, if it is still there, and if it can persist to the container that we are going to create now, which is v1, Django v1. Now let's hit enter. Now we have created a new container. We created a new container and the container is running. It's up for about 8 seconds. Now what I want us to do, let us exec into this container again to check that the information in the volume persisted to this very container. So the name is Docker Django v2 bash. Now the prompt has changed. Let us check again to see if our data from the volume persisted. If you remember, this was what we persisted when we created Django version 1. So now in version 2, as you can see, this data is still here. So what we learn now is that we can create a volume, persist data to that volume, and delete the container that we created earlier. So now that we created a new container, we persisted the data that we saved in the volume to this very new container. So that is one of the benefits of creating containers, or named containers as they are called. Now we could test our application again. Let's refresh. Our application is back. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you loved it. If so, can I ask you to just in the comments, just tell me what you think. And may I ask you also to subscribe to my channel, to like, and to share. Thank you.